Hi everybody, it's Rhiannon. I am Tuesday's host for Witches of the Moon. I am currently sitting in front of O'Charlie's waiting for my husband to show up so we could go get a bite to eat. So I figured, since this is the only time I've had this weekend, that I'm going to go ahead and knock this out so that it's ready to post for you guys. This week's topic is magical mishaps. And I guess I'm going to start this week with discussing one of my own. I almost set myself on fire. No big deal, just fire. Yeah, I did not have my altar set up the way an altar should have been set up, I guess, for working. I didn't realize that at the time. You don't, when nothing's lit, at least sometimes for me, when nothing's lit, I'm like, oh, this looks pretty. And then when you go to light things to do ritual, you realize that it's not really set up that great for lit candles. So that's what happened. I was wearing one of those fairy type sleeves, and I lit my elemental candles, and I was going to light some of the candles I had behind it, and did not realize just how long that fairy sleeve was, and I almost caught that sleeve on fire. Needless to say, at that point I decided that I either needed to change my altar the way it was set up, or I needed to get a new one. It really wasn't big enough for me to really set it up any other way, so I got a new one. So that's just one magical mishap. What I would suggest for other things to avoid some, other than wearing clothing that can catch on fire, or having your candles too close to anything that could catch on fire. Knowledge is power, and that is the case in anything you do. Knowledge is power. And if you're somebody who is learning to work with herbs, you definitely want to research your herbs. And the reason I say this is because you cannot ingest all herbs. And because you can't, even if you know, for instance, you should not ingest mandrake, you don't want to use the same, mixing bowl that you had just used your mandrake. Even for me, even if I've cleaned it, I don't think I'd want to use it, just in case I didn't clean it as thoroughly as I thought I did. I use 2 different mortar and pestles for the herbs that you can ingest and the herbs that you can't. So even if, like I said, even if you know that you can't ingest your mandrake because it's poisonous, I would, use a different way of mixing your other herbs. If you have put your mandrake in, say, the bowl you're using, or your mortar and pestle, use 2 different ones. Another thing is to know yourself. And I say this because there are so many tinctures out there, and oils, and all these great things. If you are allergic to something and you do not know it, you could do yourself some real harm. For instance, I found out as I got older, I had an allergy to ginger. I did not know that. And we all know that ginger is this amazing thing. It does so much. Upset stomach, it does so much. I cannot have it. It wasn't so bad when it first started, but now, if I have it in a tea, it makes it really hard for me to breathe. So, know your body, know yourself, and make sure that you're not allergic to anything. If you're doing essential oils, and, I've got a friend who's allergic to tea tree oil. She can't take a tea tree bath or anything. She can't do any of that. And know yourself. Know what you're allergic to. Know if you're doing something for somebody else, you ask what they're allergic to. Just in case they have any allergies. I've done a couple swaps where that's one of the first things I ask. Are you allergic to anything? Because I don't want to send you anything that you can't use that could do you harm. But those are, a couple of ways to avoid some magical mishaps. you know, spell-wise, just be very careful with what you're doing. You know, don't research what you're doing. Research correspondences to make sure you're using the proper things. You know, you don't want to use something that's meant for love banishment if you're trying to bring love in, because that could, or you don't want to word things wrong. You know, take your time with your magic and really pay attention to what you're doing, because the more careful that you are, the better your magic is going to turn out. You know, there's been a couple instances where I haven't worded things correctly, and there's been some, you know, ramifications for that. Nothing horrible, but I didn't word it right, and I didn't use the right thing, or I thought I was, because I had misread something. And this is when I was first starting out. You really want to be careful. You know, that's all I've got. You know, knowledge is power. Use your resources to find out everything you can about what you're going to be using. Learn yourself, learn your allergies, learn other people's allergies if you're trying to help them. These are, you know, important things to really think about. Just, you know, you don't want to cause any harm to either someone spiritually because you accidentally read the wrong thing, or physically because you didn't know. So, you know, that's my 2 cents this week. I hope it's helpful. I hope the tips are helpful. And I will see you guys next week. And blessed be.